welcome to another episode of She-Fi. Today we're going to be talking about the Season 6 premiere of The Walking Dead. Walking Dead airs on AMC. And just a spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about some stuff that goes down in the episode. So if you haven't watched it yet, tune back in later.
You keep going, you make sure you get back. The Walking Dead.
So one of the first things that we wanted to talk about, towards the end of last season, it seems like Rick is sort of borderline making some questionable, he's on the verge of making some questionable moral choices, and this season it seems like Morgan isn't too sure about sort of where Rick's ethical footing is. Amy, what do you think about that?
So so is Rick turning into a bad guy?
Yeah.
You know, I don't really think he's turning into a bad guy.
Let the hate flow through you.
I think he's making the choices that need to be made in order to keep people alive. You know, I think he's really concerned about the welfare of the community, you know, and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's done certain things, like I noticed Morgan's trying to kind of like scope him out. They're getting to know each other. And also I think that's why they titled the episode First Time Again. Because it does seem like it has to do with them getting to know each other all over again.
There may be something there that wasn't there before.
I agree with you. I don't think Rick's turning into a bad guy. I think he just has some difficult choices to make. I think he's kind of, for a little bit, for a few episodes during Season 5, I think maybe he does kind of start to lose himself a little bit. But I think he's coming back to himself, and I think he's sort of regaining that and just making decisions that have to be made to keep everyone alive.
True. And like, you know, Morgan, you know, I think it's not that he's a bad guy. I think it's just that he and Morgan have different philosophies, where Morgan's philosophy is all life is precious. Rick's philosophy is, well, some...
Sort of.
Yeah, some people just aren't right for this world and might have to die. It seems to be, you know?
So the big question every season with The Walking Dead is who's gonna die? They love to do that to us. They love to break our hearts and kill people we love. So who do you think is gonna die this season?
So this season, my vote is on, I'm voting on Carol, because there's been a lot of interesting things going on with her. Like in Season 5, I noticed they're kind of like going a little bit into her story, starting to go into her story arc, like when she and Daryl end up in that center for abused women and children. Yeah. And Daryl was asking her, like, what, did you used to work here or something? And like, something. Something like that. You got the sense, okay, this is a woman who was, you know, this is a woman that was abused by her husband before the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. But I think the message here is that Carol is no longer the victim of abuse.
I agree. I think it could be Carol this season. Unfortunately, because I like her. But towards the end of last season, she was starting to be a little bit, I don't know, like acting like she had something up her sleeve and trying to pretend to be like the den mom. But really, she's this badass and she doesn't want people to know.
I really didn't have much to offer this group, so I think I just sort of became their den mother.
So it seems like they could be creating this arc for her where she becomes more and more sort of separating herself from Alexandria, and you wonder if she has something up her sleeve and if it's going to cause trouble, but then, you know, setting it up for her to sort of redeem herself later on or turn it around, I guess, and do something selfless and then die. Because that's how they do it in The Walking Dead. They make you really care about the characters right before they kill them.
Exactly. Something really heroic, save a baby, save a community, and then die. and then send them off, and write them out. So, yeah. Gotcha.
So it could definitely be Carol. The other person it might be, I'm thinking, is Morgan. For similar reasons, because we're starting to really like him, and his character is starting to be built up more, and we're starting to see that he has kind of the beginnings of this friendship with Rick. And he's central enough that I think we could really start to care about him. But he's not Glenn, he's not Daryl, and I don't think they're going to kill off Glenn or Daryl. So he's distant enough from the action that he could be killed, but central enough that we care about him.
Yeah. Although, I'm not... One of the producers, one of the executive producers was saying, no one's safe.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard different things. Some... the producers will say, yeah, even Rick Grimes, could be in danger of, being killed off. Even Daryl, but...
No! Not Daryl!
I never eat frozen yogurt.
So, interesting thought here.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think blew the horn?
I know, it's the big mystery.
That big horn at the end of the episode, they're almost, it seems like they're almost to the point where they're finishing whatever it is that, trying to get the zombies
away.
To leave. And then someone blows the horn and leads them all the way back to Alexandria.
Horrible.
So, who did that?
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's maybe someone from Carter's group. They were talking about maybe trying to kill Rick. Maybe someone, and Carter ends up dying, but maybe someone else from his group.
Not those guys that call themselves the Wolves. I wonder if they broke into Alexandria and just let out some big horn.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe not, because maybe it's someone in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that knew of their plan to lead the zombies away.
It kind of seems like someone, because of the timing was so perfect. It seems like maybe it was someone who knew about the plan.
Felicity, this was your plan.
Yeah. Here's a weird conspiracy theory. What if it's Deanna?
Oh.
Just pretending to go along with it, Rick's right, but in the back of her mind,
ha ha ha.
She's like, no, I don't like Rick.
Yeah. So the whole thing is some sort of plan to get rid of Rick and the group.
So what's really cool about this episode of Walking Dead is just kind of the way they structured the episode. So they start the episode right in the middle of this climactic moment.
Yeah.
While they're working on this huge project of getting the walkers, leading the walkers away from Alexandria.
Get away from me.
And you're like, well, how did this all come about, right? Because we're just thrown in right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the next scene is a flashback. Rick talking to them about how the walls won't hold all the walkers out, and there's this big section of walkers, and they need to make the walls and the gates stronger, but really they can't work on it because the noise will bring the walkers to Alexandria. So they have this whole plan of leading the walkers away, and so we see that through flashbacks. And the cool thing is that the present moments, the scenes are all in color, and the flashback scenes are all in black and white. So that's kind of a cool contrast that we're seeing here. And yeah, it's just it's very artistically done, which is something that I really like about The Walking Dead. Is it's kind of like you're watching visual art, Yeah.
I'm not a big art guy. You don't like art?
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of She-Fi. Next week, we're going to be covering Felicia Day's new book right here. It's called You're Never Weird on the Internet.
Almost. I love that title, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great title.
Felicia Day is fantastic.
So well, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.